The prospect of taking pictures on the frontier wasn't an easy one. But at 27, a man does foolish things. I had to work mostly with a 8x10 stand camera that you couldn't move about too easily. And there were no Graflexes or reflexes, or mini or movie cameras in those days. You know, some photographers in the north went as far as to build a dark room on a dog sled. And there were no roll films, no daylight loading. All negatives were on glass.
You want to stand over here.
And you were lucky to find running water to wash your negatives and prints.
You watch the camera.
Yeah, I can.
The polar ice pack, Canada's Arctic, the most unlikely climate in the world for industry. But this is the new frontier, alive with industrial activity. The reason is energy, the promise of oil and gas.
Tuck base, KHZ.
Base Tuktoyaktuk. Go ahead.
Kilo Hotel Zulu is off Tuck base at this time and heading offshore.
Roger.
Most of this energy will be found offshore. To encourage exploration, the Government of Canada offers incentives to enterprising oil companies.
I think there were a bunch of bananas up there the way you're going up that rope.
I don't do it to show off or anything, but I mean, I can just gallop down a hill, you know, and if there's a fence to climb and if it's low enough, I'll jump it.
Way to go, Stan.
Age doesn't really come into it at all. It's because this is something I would like to try, and I like trying new things, and if I don't like it, well, I'll just not go back again.
It's important that people try to go ahead and keep regularly physically active every day, and no matter what it is you do.
35, 36, 37.
There are a lot of people who may think it's silly, but it's a type of exercise as well.
In your own circle!
Society has a lot to do with this age business, saying, oh, I'm 65. Oh, I don't do that anymore. But what do you do if you don't do that anymore at 65?
tradition of the black Pullman porter was established by the Pullman Palace Car Company in the United States in 1867. Later, when the Pullman service expanded into Canada, the tradition of blacks working exclusively as porters was adopted by Canada's major railway companies. They were the caretakers of cultural nuances, philosophers and diplomats who knew the land and the geography of the human spirit. Some earned degrees in science, languages, and religion. They traveled with and were traveling books. These men created and established the aesthetic for the job. Maximum efficiency and minimum fuss were their standards.
A mere stone's throw from the Serbian border lies the village of Vastica. At a burial site near the edge of town, the Canadians have pitched an autopsy tent. The 7 homicide investigators and 2 pathologists will glean evidence from both the living and the dead.
69-year-old male. What happened to him? He's got no right arm, and it was a possible decapitation.
No, that's the previous guy.
No.
The previous guy had no head and no right arm either.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you saying?
Okay, I'm saying, okay.
Okay.
The right arm is disarticulated, but the socket on palpation shows no evidence. The story that he had been tortured and decapitated and had an arm amputated is not substantiated by the autopsy. This is natural occurrence as the result of decomposition. There was no evidence of torture in his body at all.